Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of KuzilCraft. I'm excited. This is episode 2. At the end of the last episode, I said I was going to build a house, and I did. Just not here. So I took a look at the area. I went up this direction, found another bee's nest, found a mineral tree that I would like to collect. I checked out what the layout of the land is here and kind of decided I would build over here. Now, this is a pretty good spot, I think. This is the highest elevation in the area, and it looks down on an illager area here, a village here, and then a village down here. And then I have not explored west at all. But as far as the layout goes, I can get a bunch of stuff in here, as well as over in this area, up here, and down here. So I figure this is the best spot for us. So let's go take a look at what I built. In this episode, I would like to explain a little bit more how to get into both Silent Gear and Tinker's Construct. I went through Silent Gear pretty quickly at the end, and there are some really great tips that I can give you straight away. So one of the things that you can do, yeah, I'll explain in a little bit. So I also want to get into some Tinker's Construct, because I know a lot of you are really big fans of Tinker's Construct, and maybe start this mod. So this is a mod that I would like to get going right away. This is the Roost mod, and it's basically getting resources from chickens. So I have to do a lot of work on this building here that's going to be built in between episodes, but I can at least get it started here. So this is going to be my my entry level area. This is where I'm going to do most of my work on the mod, and then here's where I'm going to keep my chickens. There's plenty of room in here. This is way bigger than I need, but it's going to serve us well. So let me go take a nap, and then I'll show you around the house. I got this design from this house from somebody on Instagram, and while I'm sleeping here, I can pull up his account, his or her account. Let's see if I can find it here. I want to give them credit, but I'll give them credit in the tooltip. So let's see here. Nope, I think I'll just do it here. Okay, so it's something like, give me just a second. There we go. I'm just going to type it into chat. It is HUMOKYMC. That guy there, go check him out on Instagram. I got the basis of this design from him or her, and I'm just going to refer to them as a he because I don't know. Okay, so he did not have a roof, and this was much smaller. His design was much smaller than mine, and it doesn't look like he used under the roof as a room. Same as up here. And then on the second floor here, again, there was no room here. So we've got plenty of room to do lots of stuff in here. And then his was like a 3x3 here. I think the original house was 5x5. And then above, it stays 5x5. You can see here, this is like a 7 across, I think. And then as we come up here, this becomes a 9 across. So instead of here, it's out 1, which is kind of a cool design. I like how it looks. He also turned this into a garden, which is good for vanilla Minecraft, right? But not good for us because we have other ways of gardening things. This will just be a beautiful little lawn for us. But as far as like the features go, like hanging the lanterns outside, he didn't have a door here. It was all windows, but I did see he did the trap doors with a stair, which is kind of a cool little thing I hadn't seen before. His is made out of different wood. I don't honestly like the oak wood on the oak wood. I might look for something else, but that's all I have at the moment. So all I have is birch and oak, so I made it out of those. The other thing he did not have in his design is a basement. So I have a basement, and this is where I go to get all of my resources. So this goes down to underground, and we'll definitely do a lot of that. But one of the first things I wanted to show you in this episode um, is how to get iron level stuff without making an iron pickaxe. I would highly recommend not upgrading to iron until you have a way of gathering iron in a dependable way, either through mystical agriculture, productive bees, a digital miner, from mechanism, or through chickens. So we are going to get chickens going first. I may also start the bees. This is where I'm going to have my bees down here. They're going to be in this area here. And I really like the elevation of this map, so I built this little stairway down. This is going to be how we're going to get into the house here, or the building. And this is going to be a rather tall building with several levels. And that's going to be where we're going to keep our bees. So, yeah, I really like this design. And then over here on this side is where we're going to have Tinker's Construct. So, excuse me. So we're going to have Tinker's Construct in here. And there's going to be the smelteries over here, and then the no, smeltery is going to be over here, and then the advanced smelters over here. And we're also going to do some silent gear stuff here on the roof. So that's going to be another thing that I'll be working on off camera, building these buildings and all of that. But let's get started into the mods. So the first problem is we have this pickaxe that we can repair with the very crude repair kit, but it can't mine iron. So let's see. Do we have any iron? I did pick up some iron. Let me show you how to mine iron things without having to upgrade to iron. It's sort of the same way, like if you've ever watched a video, one of the first things they'll tell you is, oh, you can put a diamond tip or a diamond upgrade on your pickaxe to be able to mine diamond level things like obsidian without having to have a diamond pickaxe. It's the same way, it's just going from stone to iron. And one of the benefits is you can still repair your tool with stone. So let's take a look. So we're going to do silent gear here, and we're going to look for this tip upgrade template. Now again, we're going to need to use our, let me see if I can remember where I put everything. There we go. My knife and some templates. And what else did I want? Paper and stone. So I think I can just use that stone there. Now, do I have any paper? That's the problem. All right, let's go look for some paper. Okay, I got some sugar cane, so let's make ourselves a piece of paper here, and let's cook this. Might as well cook a whole stack of 8, because that's what one charcoal or one coal can do. 8 different. And if you're familiar with modding and you're like, oh, this is a waste because yada yada yada, trust me, it's not going to be a problem. So we're going to cook this up. We don't need to duplicate it. It's okay. Once we get the Tinker's Construct stuff up and running at the end of this episode, we'll be able to duplicate things and it'll be just fine. And I did grab some resources, a little bit of resources for that, so we can kind of see what that looks like too. We'll be grabbing that. But anyway, let's go back to our template here. So we need that stone. Where'd that go? This one here. So what that looks like is one of the tricks with JEI, I don't know if you know this or not, but you can left click on the template to see what the recipe is. And then you can click on this little plus button here as long as you're in a crafting inventory. So if I'm looking at JEI here and I click on this, it'll say, let's do one that's a bigger, like this one here. It'll say recipe is too large to craft in the 2x2 player crafting grid, right? So I have to click on a 3x3 to get it done. Well, since this is a 2x2, I can actually craft that here. So I can come up here and then hit move items, and it will take the items from my inventory and place them into the crafting area already for me. So I don't have to remember, okay, so it's 2 crafting template boards here, 1 paper and 1 stone. I can just click on my crafting whatever, click on the recipe, click on the move items, and boom, there's the thing we want. Okay, so this tip upgrade, we're going to take our iron from this, put this back in here, and then we're just going to place a single piece of iron in here, and this will give us our iron tip upgrade. Now notice, if I hold control with my pickaxe, my stone pickaxe, see how it says, it'll give me the traits, and those all mean something. You can look that up on the wiki. I don't actually know what all of those mean at the moment, but it's a tier 1 stone pickaxe, which means it's the entry level stuff. The durability is 130 out of 131, etc, etc, etc. Harvest level is iron. Well, that means that I can mine iron, but I can't mine above iron. My limit is an iron pickaxe. It's kind of a weird way to say it, so I'll compare later on with Tinker's Construct. I think Tinker's Construct is a little bit more clear as to what you can mine with it. This leads me to believe that I can mine at the iron level. Well, clearly I can't, because if I come downstairs and I go to that resource that's sitting here that says it's an iron level, this says, if the top left hand of my screen there, it says uranite ore poor. This is from the power mod. We need this stuff later. It says pickaxe, so let me select my pickaxe, but it says level iron. Well, it's confusing because it says here harvest levels iron, so it's a little misleading. What you have to understand is it's a level below that. So I can mine iron. So if I come down here, I can mine. If I had iron here, I don't think I have any iron anywhere. Let's go down here and look. I think I mined up all the iron, and this is kind of scary in here, so I don't want to go too far. Anyway, but if I had iron, let's say this was iron here, this was iron here, I could mine it, but I can't mine level iron stuff. So I think that's one thing that that Silent Gear doesn't do as well as Tinker's Construct. It does do things better, but that's one spot where I think Silent Gear falls a little short. The other place that Silent Gear falls a little short is in here. You'll see that there's a couple books. There's a Silent Gear guide. Don't craft this. Look, it says not implemented and unlikely to happen anytime soon. Use this item to get a link to the wiki. So do not craft this. Okay, I think I said that last episode. But that is one place where maybe I didn't, but that's one place where Silent Gear and Tinker's Construct differ. This is a Tinker's Construct book, and Tinker's Construct has a very thorough and easy to read and use book system. So in that spot, those two spots, if I were to grade Silent Gear and Tinker's Construct as a comparable mods, I would say Tinker's Construct pulls ahead. Now, where Silent Gear is the more user-friendly is, I could just upgrade this pickaxe to iron right now without a bunch of problem, without having to build anything. And I'll show you what I mean once we get into the Tinker's Construct after this. So, okay, now all you have to do is you take your stone pickaxe, take your tip upgrade, and now if I hold control here, it'll say harvest level diamond. Well, that means I can harvest diamonds, but it's not a harvest, but it's, if something is a diamond level that needs to be harvested, I can't harvest it. So again, when you're looking at the harvest level, as it said here, harvest level 2, in parentheses diamond, that means you can mine diamonds, but it's not the diamond level. That means that doesn't mean that it's made out of diamonds, and you can, yeah, you understand. It's a little confusing. So, but anyway, so we come down here, and now that I have an iron tip on this stone pickaxe, I now have access to mine iron level stuff. Yeah. So, and again, I can vein miner this or excavator it. But anyway, that is one of the things I wanted to show you about Silent Gear straight off the bat. Now, what I would do also, now that we have another piece of iron, is I would grab 5 more templates. Is it here? I have them already. And a stick. I don't remember where I put everything. and I would go ahead and upgrade to the next level of repair kit. So look at the difference here. So this is a very crude repair kit where the repair efficiency is 8 and the max materials in it is 30%. Sorry, the repair efficiency is 30% and the materials is a maximum of 8 materials. So when I'm filling this up, I can only put 8 items in here. Right now, it only has room for one more. See how it says 6.18? So if I try and fill this up with 2 more pieces, it won't work. So 1 piece will fit, but 2 will not, because it's got that 0.18. Well, the other one here, it just uses a piece of iron instead of a piece of stone, and it's a crude repair kit. So its repair efficiency is 5% higher, it's 35%, and it can hold 16 items. So it holds twice as much, and it's a little bit more efficient. So we're going to go ahead and craft this, and now I can take, put this in here, and I can actually put 2 of all of these in here. So that's only half full, 8 of 16, and now it's 16 of 16. So this holds twice as much, and yeah, so we're going to stick that, I'll stick that over here for now. Okay, so the next thing I want to get into, I want to compare with you, actually I need to plant the sugarcane. Let's go sleep real quick, and then let's get into Tinker's Construct. That way you can kind of see what it's like to start. If you prefer to start with Tinker's Construct, I can show you how to do that. So Tinker's Construct is the predecessor to Silent Gear, meaning that it came out before Silent Gear as far as I know. I'll plant that later. Where's my... Yeah, I'll plant that later. Okay, we're going to want some wood. We have tons of it outside. Let's just grab this. I planted all this to build our building. Great, that's fine. That's plenty. And I'm going to need another way of producing logs. And hopefully if we have enough time, I can show you how to do that too. I think we have too much planned for today, but we'll try and fit it in. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're gonna pull off like a stack, whatever, it's fine. And then we're going to make something called blank pattern, or just a pattern. Okay. And we're going to make, you don't have to make a stack of these. I don't know, 20 is fine, 18 is fine, whatever. And then we're going to look in 2 places. So I'm going to actually pull up Tinker's over here. And you can see that Tinker's uses a bunch of the materials that are in this mod pack. So for example, we have Mystical Agriculture in here, which means we have access to Supremium. Now, Tinker's Construct lets us create, use resources from other mods to make the tools, the armor within the mod itself. So we're going to be looking here for some recipes, but what I would recommend you do is I would have you pull out the book, and then let's go through the UI of the book here. So read through the introduction. This shows you how to make the pattern that I just made, and then how to use that pattern to make something called a part builder. So we're going to do that. We're going to put these here and these here, and now we have a part builder. Now what a part builder does is if you put the patterns in here, you can select, let's say, your pickaxe head here as the part, and then you can put the pieces in here. Notice that it says pattern cost 2. That tells you how many of the pieces that you need in order to craft the item. So if I come over here to the mail or to the repair kit, those are all 2. The tough handle is 3, and I only have 1 in there. Then you can craft everything in here, and it'll tell you. Actually, it'll tell you a lot of information. It's so much more useful than Silent Gear in that regard. Silent Gear is cool, and I think it has the potential to be more powerful. In fact, I know that end game Silent Gear is more powerful than Tinker's Construct. But as far as like a well-developed mod, I think Tinker's Construct wins hands down. If Silent Gear can polish out its mod in the way that Tinker's Construct has, then it will be the go-to for everything. Now I'm hoping with this little bit of competition that Tinker's Construct will step up their game and they can have some additional things that we can do. One of the limitations is with Tinker's Construct you cannot enchant your tools and armor or weapons, but with Silent Gear you can. So I can make an item as strong as Tinker's Construct and then enchant it, which is one of the reasons why Silent Gear has more powerful items as a result. Alright, so let's dig into this. So this pickaxe head, if you hover over cultivated, it'll tell you that it's economical. The tool practically grows more material when repairing, which is a way of saying that it's easier to repair. But it's made out of wood, so it doesn't have a great durability. Durability is a multiplier of 1, armor of 1 if we were to make pieces out of it. So we're going to make a head, right? So durability is 60. Mining tier is wood, meaning that it can only mine wood. Not that it only can mine wood, but anything that's made out of a wooden tool that can mine, like in Minecraft, you can, with a wooden tool, you can mine stone, but you can't mine iron, right? So we'll have to upgrade to stone before we can get onto that. So iron requires like a wooden tool or a stone tool, etc. The mining speed is here and melee damage is 0, so that's not a really great. But anyway, you can scroll through here and see kind of what the multipliers are, which is great, right? You could put items in here or resources in here to find out what they are. So for example, if I come over here and I grab a flint, I can come over here and put this flint in here and see what my flint gives me. So for a handle, the durability is lower, which may not be preferable, but the melee damage is higher. So if I don't really care about durability, but I care about damage, then I can use this. As far as like a head goes, so if I'm going to use it for a pickaxe, for example, the durability is 85 as compared to 60, so it's probably better for a pickaxe. And its mining tier is stone, so it's as if I have a stone pickaxe, which is kind of cool. Mining speed is 3.5 versus 1. And melee damage is 1.25. So flint is actually pretty decent starting off pattern for pickaxe head. But I want to show you how to upgrade and all that. So we're going to go through here. We're going to put 2 pieces in here. We'll make a pickaxe head. We're going to also need to come back out here and make a couple more things. So before we get going too far, that's explaining what the part builder does. That's basically what I just did. Now we're going to need something called a Tinker Station. A Tinker Station is going to help us make the tools. If you read through here, it's telling us that this is what the Tinker Station UI looks like, and this is how to craft it. So let's go ahead and craft that. Grab 3 of these. There we go. Now a Tinker Station is how we make our tools and upgrade our tools and repair our tools. It's all done here. Now this is one spot where I think Tinker's Construct and Silent Gear differ. And you can make a repair kit. So if I come back up here in JEI, where was it? Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing it. Very obvious. There's 19 pages in here. There we go. Okay, so I can actually make a wooden repair kit, but it's like carrying around a stack of. It's the same thing, right? It is the same thing. But it requires a cast and it requires a pattern. Patterns are anyway. I don't know. So let's just go ahead and try it. I'll show you what I mean. So we're gonna make a repair kit, and it's like keeping an ingot of wood with me. Okay. Now in here, if I were to make a pickaxe, where's it at? Here. It requires a pickaxe head, a tool handle, and a tool binding. Well, we have the pickaxe head here, but I need a tool binding, which is a material cost of 1. So I'm just going to pull that out of there. And a tool handle, which is also a material cost of 1. So all in all, it took 4 wood to make this pickaxe, which is a little bit, it's similar. It's not like a drastic difference from vanilla, but anyway, here is a wooden pickaxe. Now, if I were to go ahead and use this down here and let's just come down here and just or excavate and break it. I'll show you what this repair kit does. Okay, so let's say that I come over here and I don't want to kill myself. What's down below me? All right, so let's do this. I'm just gonna ore excavate and pull off a bunch. Now that broke my wooden pickaxe, but obviously it didn't disappear because that's the mod, right? Now I could repair it with a repair kit, and that repair kit disappears. So every time I want to repair my gear, I have to make another repair kit. Well, it's as easy as just putting it in up here, right? It's making one, but oh, that's weird. Graphical update? That's so strange. All right, so, but where the problem comes in with higher tier materials. So when I come up here to like silver, for example, I have to use a gold cast, like a repair kit cast. And you can definitely do it. I'm not saying that it's not similar, but this seems like a better system, like putting stuff in the repair kit, keeping it with you, repairing it on the fly. I think it's a better system than the Tinker system. But it's not dramatically different. All right, well let's see what it's like to upgrade to a pickaxe, a stone pickaxe. So we're gonna upgrade to a stone pickaxe. We'll just get a pickaxe head. We don't need a whole new pickaxe. And we'll come over here, and in this first tab, so you know you come over here, you're making all this other stuff. This first tab on the left here, top left, is the upgrade section, right? So I'm gonna put my pickaxe here, and then I'm gonna put my pickaxe head in any of these 3 over here. Now this is like this because you can add a bunch of different things in here. You can read in the book what these different ones do, but it basically lets you just upgrade a bunch of stuff. So now this is a stone pickaxe, and you can see that the mining tier is stone, mining speed, all that stuff. Now do you remember what the flint was? So we can compare here. Let's see. Mining speed is 3.5 versus 4. Melee damage is 1.25 versus 1. So the flint will be better for our sword than for our pickaxe. Alright, so let's pull that over here. But you'll notice that I did not get my wooden pickaxe head back. It's just gone. That is one of the big differences between Tinker's Construct and Silent Gear. Now, getting some wood back, I honestly don't care. And even later on, like if I'm using something like Crimsonite or even some of the more like Tyrian Steel, which is the highest tier Silent Gear stuff, I definitely want that back, except that it's for Silent Gear, so I don't really care if I get it back. But if I'm using like gold or diamonds, that could be helpful. But usually by the time you get up high enough to where you're using like diamonds and emeralds and all that stuff, you don't really care too much if you get stone back or even iron at that point. Maybe you do. I don't. So that's one thing that doesn't bother me about Tinker's Construct. I don't care if I'm not getting those materials back. But since Silent Gear does it, it's like, okay, it's okay. It's cool. It's whatever. Okay, so now let's say that you want to go from stone to iron. I'm not going to upgrade to iron because I only have 7. And I don't really want to spend them just yet. I have a lot of mining to do between episodes, unfortunately. And well, hopefully we can use some of our mods to get through that. So now for Silent Gear, it's as simple as taking your pickaxe blueprint that you have, doing 3 pieces, and there's your pickaxe head. Now you have iron pickaxe. Again, I would not recommend that until you have a way of getting iron, because repairing it will require iron. So if you don't have a way of getting iron, or you're not a particularly lucky miner, you're going to find yourself unable to repair your pickaxe or the rest of your tools. So I would recommend staying with stone for now and not doing that. But with Tinker's Construct, it's different. So let's come back into the book here, and let's take a look at this. Is useful. This is a pattern chest if you want to make a bunch of patterns. So let's say you want to let's see. Yeah, this whole system is a little different. But once you get up a little bit more, you're starting to use sand. You can put parts in here. You can put I guess armor in here. Anyway, but it talks about all the different things in here, what all these are used for, what their different stats are. Again, you can see all of those here, but if you want to know what the tier 1 sources are, the tier 1 is, how I would define it, is it does not require anything other than these 2 blocks here to craft. You can put all the resources in here and get your item out. Tier 2 is going to need something else. So you can flip through here and look at all the different ones. Naga scale is going to be from Twilight Forest, which is a completely different dimension. There's ranged materials. You can craft bow, crossbow with tier 1. And then there's some other tools that you can craft that are all tier 1. You can make flint and brick. And you can read here how that's a little different. There's a mattock, which tills dirt, can mine dirt and logs, so it's like a hoe, axe, and shovel all in one. It's kind of neat. There's another here called a picadze, which is it mines blocks and like all blocks, so dirt and like stone. And then it talks about repairing, so you're using the repair kit to repair stuff, part swapping, everything that I just explained to you is in here. What the different modifiers do. So I would definitely read through this, because there's ways to upgrade this. Now here it's talking about puny smelting, so we want to make this book. This is the next book in the series. It'll actually tell us all the different books that we're going to want. But we're going to focus on this one here. So grout. How do you make grout? Well, if you go back in the book, you can just click on, I think, nope, okay. You can type in here grout, and it's easy. I'll show you the recipe, but it's just clay, sand, and gravel. Now you can use 1 clay, 4 sand, and 4 gravel to make 8 of these, which saves on the clay. It's a clay block there, so you're actually not saving on any clay. Anyway, so I'm going to grab a stack of this. A stack of sand and a stack of gravel, and we're gonna make some grout. There we go. This actually is enough to make 2 stacks of grout. Now this needs to be cooked, except for 1. We're just gonna keep 1 out. We're gonna cook all that. And do I have a book? Can I make a book? I can make a book. Let me show you a different way of making a book. Here. Oh, I need a slime ball. Do I have a slime ball? And I need more paper. Oh, wow. Okay, let me go find a slime ball. Let's see. If you look in JEI, no, I'm sorry, Journey Map, you see these floating islands? These will have slimes that drop. They'll just jump out of the sky and fall down. So I'm going to go over here and see if I can not get killed by the illagers. Find some slime. And then I'm going to see if I can find some more. Maybe there's some more sugar cane along here or something. But I will be back when I find that. Okay, this is what I was talking about. So this slime island up here drops slimes like crazy. So I was actually getting hurt fighting these things. Not the little ones, of course. Okay, hello. Well, that's fun. These medium ones were dropping on me, and some of the big ones too. They're just dropping straight on top of me. So if I stay here too long, another one will spawn up there and drop on my head and hurt. But yeah, this is a great way to get different kinds of slime. There's a bunch of different colors, but this is a Tinker's Construct mod that does that. So it's not like it's that big of a deal. If the recipe says green, you can use a blue. If it says blue, you can use a green or purple. Just find a floating island, and there you go. I'll see you back at base. All right, we are back at base. I have some more sugarcane. It was over there, by the way. And then all we have to do is we have to take, I think it's what, 2 of these? 3. No, 2. So 2 of these, 2 of the patterns, 3 paper, and 1 of your slime balls. That'll get you a book. So you don't have to get leather if you don't want to. So instead of getting leather, you can just find slime and wood. So then we just take our grout and get our book, and when we get the puny smelting. Now, what puny smelting does is it gives us access to tier 2 stuff. So tier 2 stuff is your metal, and it gives you like some information on modifiers and your armor and stuff like this, upgrades. So this is a good one to get pretty early on. If you can do it, I would recommend it. Now, if you've watched anything on Tinker's Construct, you'll see that there is a larger, like what's called a, I don't know if it's still called a smeltery or what, but there's actually, in the newer version of Tinker's Construct, there's a tier system. So tier 1, like I was saying a little bit earlier, tier 1 materials can be freely crafted in the part builder and the Tinker Station. Tier 2 and higher is going to require some sort of melter, smelter system, right? So let's just look through here. The introduction is going to talk about, there's different authors for each different book, but it's all the same guy. So what we're going to look for, we're going to make the very first, I would call it tier, it's tier 2 materials, but it's the first tier of the smelting process or refining of materials. It is not ore duplication, but it's you can get more from your ores than you normally would from a furnace. And this is probably where some people will be like, dude, you just wasted 8 iron. Again, I'm not worried about it. So I'm not looking for the most efficient path through Minecraft. Now, if I was playing vanilla, yes, of course, because then it's all mining. You don't get any materials from anywhere else. But this is modern Minecraft. I'm going to be swimming in everything soon. So, all right, these are the different features. Now, again, you give for 3 nuggets. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. So, for every 3 items that you smelt, it's going to give you 4 back. So you're basically getting 33% increase in your return. So this talks about how you move fluids, the ducts and the systems like that is pretty cool. How you can remove things like with faucets, and you can actually create like a downspout, which is kind of cool, not gonna lie. This is just a really, if you want to have something like this, this is a pretty cool way to store fluids of any kind, water, whatever. And then you can have one of these tanks that works just like a portable tank. You can break it and take the fluids with you with a downspout pouring in there. It's kind of a really cool system. And then you have your normal like basin and stuff like this. Now, if you've not seen this before, that's not normal to you, but people who have seen Tinker's Construct, you've seen this before. I'll explain what all this is about here in a little bit. And then now they actually introduced channels, so I can actually have multiple fluids going through at the same time if you wanted to. And now we can use copper instead to transfer fluid around instead of iron. So if I have a bunch of copper, which I do, we can use this to move fluids around, which is kind of neat instead of using a bucket. Okay, so let's take a look at casting. That's the next thing on our list. Now here we have the pattern. We're going to place our resource in here, our tier 1 resource, and get a tier 1 part out of it. With casting, we will take a piece of sand and get 4 casts from it. So let's take one piece of sand here, stick it in our crafting inventory. We're going to get 4 blank sand casts. Now I can take that over here to the part builder, and I can stick this in here, and I can make a pickaxe head cast. Now let me show you what this is used for in a minute. Let's grab a chest. Do I have a chest? I do have a chest. You can put this here. Now I can access this chest because it's next to this, and I can also access the tinker station because it's all built together, right? They're next to each other. That's one of the cool parts about Tinker's Construct. Now I think, let's test this theory out. If I put it over here, do I still have access to it? I do not. So this has to be next to the part builder to work. So I can put my casts over here, my patterns in here, and swap them out as I see fit. Now, if I were to make do you remember the chest from the last book? Let's go back a couple pages to the introduction. I think it's here. So I want a chest, a pattern, 4 sticks, and a piece of wood. So let's grab one pattern, yeah. Okay, so 1 piece of wood, 1 chest, and 4 sticks. Great. Let's see if I can remember where to put all this. Pattern, 4 sticks, and a piece of wood. Great. So I can stick that down here, and now I can look in here and I can keep parts in here. So I can put, if I make a part out of wood, for example, I can stick it in here and use it later. Or if I'm out playing the game and I find pieces, I can stick them in here. This is for parts. But that's another thing about Tinkers that's really nice, is as long as you place them together, you can access them all together. You don't have to like go to each one. In fact, you can bury these all underneath in a wall somewhere and just have one, you know, just one access point. Okay, let's make this puny smelter. This is just going through what I was just talking about. It gives you the casts. Now you can also use 2 gold ingots to make a permanent cast. Now these sand casts, this one that I just made is a temporary cast. It's very similar to the template boards, just with 25% of a piece of sand instead of some wood. It's basically super easy to do. It talks here about composite casting, automation. You can use levers. I'll show you how to do all that, don't worry. And then tier 2 stuff. So let's get into the smelter itself. I'm sorry, the melter. And basically all we're going to need to do is come over into Tinker's Construct here in JEI and look for, see if I can find it here. Seared heater and a seared melter. So the melter is just going to be 5 of these seared brick around any sort of what they call heart of the smeltery heart. So you can use a gauge, ingot gauge, a fluid gauge. I'm just going to do this one. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to need some glass. Come over here and grab some of our seared brick. And let's go ahead and make fluid gauge, ingot gauge. Fuel gauge. This one here is what I want. All right. Grab this, and then we'll actually put some of these around it, and that's going to be our melter. I'll put that there. That's fine. Now, it must be placed above a fuel tank, or a heater to function. So if I put a fuel tank down here and put some lava in it, it'll work. Or we can make this seared heater, which is just 8 bricks, and we can use something like coal or charcoal. Can we use charcoal? Yeah. And that will actually work. You see that it's here in the user interface here to smelt some of our things. So let's put these in here, and we'll use the coal to melt our copper. And we put 3 pieces of copper in here, and we should have 4 ingots worth of fluid in here when we're done. Now, how do we get that out of there? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our seared ingots, and we're going to make a basin out of it. Okay, the basin's going to go on one side, and our table, casting table, is going to go here. Now, that doesn't do us much without some faucets. Grab a faucet, shift right click on the side. Now we have access to pouring our stuff. Now, this is how you make a block of something. So let's see. Let me get a block's worth of stuff in here. This is going to take a couple of melts. In the book, it says that this can hold up to 9 items in here, 12 ingots, and so we're at 8 ingots. That's not quite a block yet. But if you smelt up to a block, now we've got a block and 3 ingots. So we're really full. We're all the way full. That's as much that can hold in there, 12 ingots worth. But I can pour out a block of copper here, or any fluid, any metal fluid, and it's going to take some time to dry. Once it's dry, it'll make that sound that you just heard. You can right click on it and get your copper. So now I have 9 pieces of copper, and then in here is 3 more ingots. So let's see how we can get that out of there. So if I come back over here and I do, can I do an ingot cast? Yes. Now I think this will disappear after we use it. So we're going to need to make 3 of those to get these out of here. And they stack, so you can put one here. That is not very efficient. So I would recommend not doing it that way. I would actually recommend if you have 2 pieces of gold, which we just happened to do. I did not plan that, I promise. I'll show you how to make a permanent ingot cast. So check this out. We're going to use one of our copper ingots, and we're going to right click on the casting table to put that ingot there, and we're going to pour the gold around it. And that's going to make us an ingot cast. Now, that's really cool because, I'm sorry, we only needed 1 piece of gold, so let's get that back out of there. It used to be 2. And you can just right click on it. Now the ingot cast stays in there. So what I can do is I can put 3 of these guys in here. And I want to show you what to do if you're a little short on, I'll explain myself here in a minute. Okay, now while that's doing that, what this was talking about earlier, about automation, I can take a lever, I can put it up here, and I can turn it on. This is redstone activated. So I'll pull that out of there, and it will automatically pour the next thing in. The other thing you can do, I'm not going to do it because I don't have enough iron, is put a hopper underneath here into a chest, and it'll automatically pull the ingot out, not the cast, and it'll take it and put it in your chest. So you can put in your items here, your raw ore, flip your lever down, it'll pour it into here, the hopper will pull out the ingot, stick it into a chest, and you can get your chest later. Now, with this, if I were to put 1 piece in here, I'm going to show you what, remember how I said you're going to get 33% more? Well, this is going to give me 1 ingot and 3 or 4 nuggets. So this is 3 nuggets. So I could make a nugget cast if I wanted to. That wouldn't be a bad idea. But what you would have to do, let's say that, for example, it got poured in there and you don't know how to get it out. The only way to get it out is to either fill more, grab another ore or something, put it in there, or break it and you lose those ingots. Okay? So be careful when you're doing any kind of smelting. Same goes for if I were to put that into my basin here and it wouldn't be full. The only way to get that fluid out, you could use pipes. You probably could use pipes to pipe it out. But early on, you don't have access to pipes. You just have this stuff sitting in here. Well, you can't put iron on top of that. You can't use this anymore. This is a useless bucket of copper. Just break it, it voids it out, and you're good to go. So be careful when you're smelting, smelting, because you can do stuff like that, right? You can find yourself, oh wait, I'm short. I only have some nuggets in here. Well, let's see if we can make a nugget cast. Take this out, put a nugget there, and we're going to pour that out and make a nugget cast. This is the other option you have to make nuggets, right? And that's going to dry much quicker. That's another thing you can do. So if you want to, you can put one of these nugget casts here, and you can pipe in. You can put a hopper with all of your raw stuff in here and get a bunch of nuggets. And then once you get them all together, make them into. Oh, I lost that one nugget. Wait, what is this? Huh. I wonder if these will work together. Let's find out. They look different. They did. They do. Cool. All right. Well, obviously I got some nuggets in that, but that's how you use the melter. We're gonna stop there as far as Tinker's construct goes, because I want to get into something else. So let's drop these off in here. There we go. I don't think I can put this pickaxe in here. No. We're just going to keep him here for now. I'm going to stick with silent gear for the time being. And put all my stuff away. Let's see. All you go in here. Put my crude one in here too. This is a very crude sorting system at the moment. Alright, let's sleep through the night, and then I want to show you a little bit about Roost before I close out the episode. Because Roost is how we're going to start our resource production. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to make sure you find some. Remember in the beginning of last episode, I was excited because I found some chickens, some vanilla chickens, and I slayed a couple of them. Found out a little bit later that y'all were not happy about that, but things have to be done. I apologize. So we'll get these 2 feathers, 2 eggs, and we're gonna make a couple of chicken sticks. Okay, now what these chicken sticks do is these turn live chickens out in the wild. Is that a creeper? No, it's a Enderman. And he's gone. Great. Let's go see if we can find some chickens. There's somebody below us. Nope. There was a bunch of chickens over here. It'll turn these live chickens into items in your inventory. Stackable items in your inventory. So if you find a chicken... Oh, there's a baby creeper. No, that's a regular creeper. Okay. It's really short. Now, I know that there's chickens. Here's one. So we're going to go up to it and we're going to look. This is a melon chicken. You're going to right click on it and he's going to become something that goes in your inventory. Now there's something to keep in mind. Where did that creeper go? Alright. When you're picking up a chicken, there's a bunch of information on here. Tier 2. You're looking for 2 Tier 1 chickens is what you're looking for. You're going to find a bunch of chickens in the wild. I recommend finding a couple cobblestone chickens like these guys here. These are perfect. Bop. Okay. 2 cobblestone chickens, and you can start And you also need a vanilla chicken. Let's see if we can find a vanilla chicken. Just a regular chicken. Not a resource chicken of any kind. So basically you need 2 tier 1 chickens. It doesn't really matter what kind of chickens they are. Just as long as they're tier 1. You need 2 of them. And you're going to need 1 vanilla chicken. Let's see if we get lucky. Otherwise, I will run around and look for the vanilla chickens without you and then let you know when I find one. It's kind of a pain sometimes looking for something. I think this is a berry. Yeah. Now, chickens are great because every time you feed a chicken of a particular resource, it will give you that resource. Here's another berry chicken. The other thing we could do is use these eggs, see if we can raise a chicken. I will spend some time here. Oh, we found one. This is a vanilla chicken. See how it just says chicken? And when you click on it, it turns color. I think it's a rendering thing. I'm not really sure why it does that, but because vanilla chickens are all white, probably. Is that true? Is that true? I haven't played vanilla in a minute. I try and keep up to date on vanilla because it's like the foundation for... Well, yeah, let's not try that. The foundation for understanding the world, I think. You know, like if for bees, for example, like we're going to get into productive bees here in a few episodes. And you have to understand the vanilla bees first. So I try and keep up to date on that. And I don't remember if they've added different colored chickens or not. Wow, this terrain gen is wild. All right, so let's go back to our base here, and I want to show you. I think I have enough resources for it. We'll find out. Let's take a look real quick. So the mod is called Roost, and you're going to come to the second page here, and you're going to get one of these breeders, which is why we needed the vanilla chicken. These are just wood to make the roost. It's just wood, and one of these extractors. So I'm going to need bone and glass. Do I have bone? I think that might be the only thing I need. If you have those 2 items, along with another mod that I want to show you about, you can start into chickens and get some pretty crazy stuff going right away. Okay. So let's come over here and let's see if we have any bone. Yes! All right, cool. So sorry, that was probably pretty loud in your ear. I apologize. I was really excited. Okay, let's get, we'll use these, that's fine. 8 of those. Okay, so let's make 2 of each of these. And I know we have glass somewhere. There we go. Just need 3. Make yourself some glass bottles. Okay. So, and then we're going to make 2 of these roosts. So to do that, we're going to need all this. You want to make 3 composts. Okay. And then you're going to put them up here like a hat. And that's that. So we need 1 more. So we'll make 3 more. And then I need some more. No, it's the composts. Okay, let's make the soul breeder first. Soul extractor, and then we'll do the breeder second. Okay, so remember how I did that? So left click on here, click on the items. Now if you don't have the items, you can't move them to your inventory. But what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, place down our soul extractor and our breeder. And what we're going to do is we're going to sacrifice one of these tier 1 chickens. This is why we needed a two tier 1 chickens, because we're going to use the second one to get more chickens. So this is going to give you what's called a tier 1 essence. Now you can use seeds, regular vanilla seeds. Do I have any? Uh-oh. The hiccup in this plan was wheat seeds. Now here we go. Great. All right, now you can just do 1 if you want to, or you can use this one tier 1 essence to get 8. It doesn't really matter. One or more, it doesn't matter. Now, what I'm gonna recommend you do is grab some clay. We'll grab some iron. And this is gonna be a good investment in iron and a chest. All right, so let's make a hopper. Okay, and then we're gonna cook up 3 of these, and then we're gonna cook up 5 of these here. Okay, and we're gonna make something called a botany pot. Now what a botany pot is it lets you plant something in it, and you'll get the resource from it out. So for example, if I were to plant wheat seeds in it, it would give me wheat out with some seeds too, so just like you would if you were to plant it in the ground. And I could come out here and plant stuff in the ground, but this is modded Minecraft and I really want to just do this with mods. So we're going to do that. First of all, make yourself a little flower pot, and then we're going to surround that with, in the same format as the iron would be in the hopper, we're going to do that with this terracotta. And then we're going to add the hopper to the top of it and make ourselves what's called a hopping botany pot. Now you can look over here. This is called botany pot, and look at the different designs. But there's basically 2. This is the botany pot itself, and I'll show you the difference between the 2. Okay, so the regular botany pot, when you put this down, you have access to the inventory, and then that's it. You have to right click on it to harvest as something grows, which isn't great. What I want to do is I want it to hopper down into the inventory below it. So we put this here. We're going to grab a piece of dirt, and we're going to plant one of our chicken food in here. Now what this is going to do in the top left hand corner is it's going to say, okay, in 25 seconds you'll get another piece of chicken food. And you cannot use this as an inventory. This is not a storable inventory, but what it'll do is it'll drop down into the inventory below. Oh, what happened? Did I double click? I must have double clicked. Anyway, so I'm going to put my chicken in here, my cobble chicken, and what's going to happen is whenever this food finishes, it'll hopper down into this breeder, and we'll get a piece of food in here, and this progress bar will go across and we'll get a random tier 1 chicken. Now this could be really awesome. It could be like cobble, get another cobble. We could start a cobble farm. I'm going to put this other roost next to it, and I'm going to show you how this works, hopefully. Let's see what we get. See how it's gotten 3 in there? So by the time it feeds 1, coal. That's a level 2. We can't use that one yet. No, but what we can do is I can take this melon one and I can sacrifice it. Now, I'll show you how to do that here in just a minute. Let's see what this second one is. Then we're going to call this kind of an episode. It's kind of a long episode. I apologize. I had too much I wanted to do in this episode, but I really wanted to get chicken started. And I really wanted to go through the tools. So diorite. All right, we're going to swap these guys out. Okay, so I really want cobblestone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the roost block here, I'm going to put my chicken here, and I'm going to put my food up here. Now every time this guy eats a piece of food, he's going to get 2 things. He's going to gain experience. See how his experience is 0 out of 500? It's going to go up by 10 when he's done eating. There you go. So every time he eats, he's going to gain 10 experience with the tier 1 food. Once he gets to 500, he'll level up. Now what that means is he'll produce more cobblestone per consumption of food the higher level he is. So once you get to level 60, you're basically giving an entire stack of cobblestone for every food that you eat. It's very powerful, but it takes a very long time. You can tell that this is a very slow process. This is not super fast. Well, in the time we've been in here, now we have granite, we have but the coal. So let's show you how to upgrade to tier 2. So you have your tier 1, you're going to let this go. You're going to get a bunch of chickens, and you can pipe these out or hopper them out into a chest and have a bunch of chickens, which is probably what I'll do. But to upgrade to the next tier, what you would do is you would take one of your tier 2 chickens, you would sacrifice them, and get a tier 2 soul, essence, not a soul. See, it's a tier 2 essence, and you're going to take some of the tier 1 food, and you're going to get tier 2 food. Now what you can do then is you can take your tier 2 chicken, let's get this out of here, the other tier 2 chicken that you have, you can stick him in here, and you can start growing tier 2 chickens. So this will grow, it'll make tier 2 food, and you can start producing tier 2 chickens. So like if I were to get another piece of coal here, or another coal chicken out of this process, I can make another roost, put a coal chicken in there, and get coal from it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do that with all the chickens. So if you look in the JEI at Roost, you can see there's a bunch of chickens. You can look for, let's say, where's the iron chicken? I know he's here somewhere. There you go. So he's a tier 4 chicken. So you're going to have to sacrifice a level 3 to get level 3 food. You're going to sacrifice a level 4 to get level 4 food. And you can, so if you look in the recipe on how to get them, this says you have to use an iron chicken in the breeding to get an iron chicken. What that means is any tier 4 chicken with tier 4 food or above will give you possibly an iron chicken. There's also a chance when you feed a tier 3 chicken of any kind, it doesn't have to specifically be a copper chicken, it can be any tier 3, has a chance of getting a tier higher than it. So this is how you progress through the mod. You start off with level 1. You saw we had that cobblestone chicken in there as a tier 1, feeding him tier 1 food, and we got a coal chicken out of it, which is a tier 2. So it has an opportunity to give you a tier higher than the tier that you're currently breeding, which is how you progress through the mod. So I'm going to do a bunch of this off camera. I'll probably do a lot of this off camera. I'll probably set up a bunch of chests and stuff to look for chickens. And then I'll probably, what I will do is I will build my chicken coop over here and move all this stuff over there and kind of show you what this process looks like after I get it running. So this is honeycomb. This will help us get into bees, which is really nice. These aren't very useful, but you'll notice here that the tier 2 chicken is still giving me tier 1 stuff. That's true all the way through the mod. As you progress through your chickens, get higher tier chickens, you're always going to get lower tier chickens than what you're breeding, with a chance of getting higher tier chickens, which are also going to get the same tier as well. So that is basically chickens in a nutshell. Well, now we can make, we can get these resources without any kind of problem. I gotta be careful not to use all of my food. All right, guys. I hope that is a useful episode for you guys. It showed you 3 separate mods comparing both Silent Gear and Tinker's Construct very early game, and then how to get into resource generation through the Roost mod. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and let me know what you think of the chickens. Take care.